No smoking, please. Okay, don't like it. No food or drinks, bottled water is fine. And you can take pictures. Flash photography is totally fine. Video is great. Please do not touch the formations. When we touch the formations, we leave oils on our hand that prevent the water that's dripping down with the minerals from forming. It just slides right off. And so we want to keep our caves growing. And also use the handrails. There will be plenty of those, and you can touch those as much as you want. Stay with your tour, that's me. I know the way in and I know the way out. And also, feel free to ask questions whenever you have them. If it's after I'm done talking, if it's something I said, prompt something, feel free to ask me. Even when we're walking, that's fine. Alright, let's go in.
¿Quieres que te cargue, Chomi?
And please watch your step in your head.
Okay, give me your hand porque está oscuro. Está dark. Thank you. Ok, agárrate de mi sudadera si quieres. ¿Te cargo? Ya es una cave. Sí, mi amor. Dame la mano. Please, please, porque aquí está oscuro, mi amor. Uy. Yeah, maybe. Por eso dame la mano. Ok, ¿te cargo? ¿Te cargo? Porque me vienen snakes. Uy, ok, I got you, Chomi, no worries. Uy, me cayó una gota en la cabeza.
¿Qué?
Ah. It's okay, I got you. Uy. Wow. Mina, mina.
Really? You were the very first person I met in these guys. Really? I am very impressed. Well, if you could please silence your phones, right? No, I'm just kidding. There aren't any snakes. Actually, it was funny. Apparently, they found a rattlesnake a few years back, cuddled by the base, by the door there when you first open it. But he had gotten in through a hole in their ceiling, and snakes don't really, they're cold-blooded, so it's kind of chilly in here, so they don't like that. Go ahead and scoot on forward, guys. Just squeeze together. We're all one big happy family. And you guys can get close to me. I won't bite too hard. Thanks, guys. Almost got everyone. All right, thanks again for coming. We're really glad you guys are here. This is the first stop on our tour. This is called the Discovery Room. The Discovery Room was named for two reasons. The first being its accidental discovery. Back when they were first making the caverns into a tour, they were blasting with dynamite holes 180 feet in and 200 feet up. And they accidentally blasted a hole right through where we just came through, right there. Opening up a whole series of chambers here. These were already here, they didn't blast this, but they just discovered this whole big chamber here. And another reason we call it the Discovery Room is because you'll find almost every single type of formation in this room that we'll see throughout the entire caverns. The first formation is behind me. It's called soda straw, that's its informal name. It's also called, more scientifically, tubular stalactite. This is essentially the beginning of our formation. As I mentioned earlier, the caves go through two phases, the hollowing out phase and the filling in phase. This is the filling in phase that you're seeing here. What happens is that when that carbon dioxide water moves through the carbonic acid, it picks up calcium in the limestone amongst other minerals. It gets super saturated. And when it hits the cave wall, the air there, it loses some of those molecules. It particularly loses carbon dioxide, which causes the calcite crystal to form. And it forms in really small, narrow rings. It is essentially a straw. If you were to take it off, snap it off, you can stick it in your soda and use it as an actual straw. That's why they get the name soda straws. And what happens is that eventually these will clog and it'll cause water to then start forming on the outside instead of going through the structure. And when that happens, it gets a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger until we form what's known as a stalactite. And now you can remember stalactite because there's a C in it for ceiling, and it holds tight to the ceiling. Both stalactites and stalagmites grow at a rate of 1 cubic inch per 100 years. Usually they'll get to about 8 or 10 feet before they break off from their own weight, if they don't happen to grow together, which I'll talk about in a little bit. And what happens is that water flows down onto the end, depositing minerals onto the end of the stalactite, but it also drips down, depositing minerals down below, which forms what we like to call a staircase. Shine my light on so you guys can see a beautiful example of our concrete staircase. Just kidding. Actually, what it forms is, as I mentioned before, stalagmite. Now, a stalagmite has a G in it for ground, and it might one day reach the ceiling. Now, as I said before, chances are good that they'll probably grow together, forming a column. An example of a column right there. And beneath our beautiful column is an example of our most aggressive and abundant form throughout the cavern. This is called flowstone. It's formed when sheets of water flow over a smooth surface or a rock, making that whole like smooth kind of cascading look. And this grows at a record of 4 inches per 100 years. So it's much, much faster than the stalactites and stalagmites. Now, who here likes spaghetti? Is spaghetti? I thought so. Come on, what about you adults? Come on, seriously. There you go, there you go. All right, we guys are in luck. We have our spaghetti patch right here. No meatballs, unfortunately. But these are actually called helictites, and we're not entirely sure how they form. They're kind of a mystery because they kind of go all which direction. So we think that there is a pocket of air behind there, and when water fills up with that, it kind of builds up pressure, and the pressure forces water out through those pores. And so we get essentially tiny little formations in all different directions. You can think of it like the Play-Doh. Has anyone played with those Play-Doh things? You push the Play-Doh through and it creates that hair. That's kind of what we think happens here, and they grow in all different directions. Now, do we have any meat eaters here? People who like, bacon for breakfast? There you go, there you go. So we have some of that here too. The beginning formation of what we like to call cave bacon. We call this cave ribbon. This happens when water flows over a ridge continuously, and you can see it starts to get a little bit farther out toward us until it becomes basically resembling more like actual bacon. And when this happens and it gets a lot wider, we get cave drapery, as you can see right here. Or you might think of these as like curtains, basically. That's what draperies kind of are. We call them cave or drapelites, too. All right, so I'm going to move us into the next place. Excuse me. Excuse me. Thank you.
Chloe,
Hi.
¿Te estoy caminando?
Mommy, where's the snake?
Ya dijo la muchacha que no hay snakes. No hay aquí. ¿Quieres caminar?
Sure.
Ok, aquí no hay snakes. Give me your hand.
Where's Daddy?
Vamos, why? Porque está ahí, te puedes caer. Te puedes caer. Thank you.
watch your head up here.
Oh, okay, thank you.
You know, we just had a rain recently. In the winter time, it's usually about this wet. Sometimes it's more. And what happens is that water usually takes a day and a half to 3 days
Wait.
of good rain
What's the next one?
to process through the cave.
This
So you could be
No, yeah, no,
getting
it's not.
the effects of the rain for several days after. But yes, there are puddles on the stairs too.
No, no hay,
spider?
no, no hay spiders.
Close?
No.
Here comes Samantha. Girl after my own, well, name really. you want, we've got a fairly large party, so I'm good. What's in there? A whole lot of nothing. I will talk about that actually. Good question. We almost got everyone. People going up the stairs. Sorry, what?
Go on.
Bugs. We do actually occasionally get cave spiders in here. They're pretty gnarly.